avoid ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. And also the manager should not ignore this informal organization because it is also having an importance in the organization. Organization ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಸ್ ಎ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಆಗಿ ಇವನು ಇದನ್ನ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ he should not ignore this also. ಇದನ್ನ ಕಡೆಗಣಿಸಬಾರ್ದು ಆಸ್ ಎ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಆಗಿ. Okay, so here these informal group, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ why this informal group are created? See, this informal group as created with the common interest. Okay, so these are all the informal organization. So these are all not pre-planned. So informal organization ಅನ್ನೋದು pre-planned ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ. Okay, so these are all the informal organization as established or raised on the basis of the common interest. Okay, so common interest basis ಮೇಲೆ ಈ informal organization ಅನ್ನೋದು established ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, and also for what purpose? For the purpose of satisfying the social and personal needs of an individual, they are going to formulate the informal organization. Informal organization ಅನ್ನೋದು satisfaction ಯಾವ್ದರ social ಮತ್ತೆ personal satisfaction ಗೋಸ್ಕರ in order to fulfill those needs. So these groups has been created and these groups are not pre-decided. ಇದನ್ನ ಮುಂಚೆ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿರಲ್ಲ. So those groups we are going to call it as an informal organization. Okay, see, as I told that this informal organization is established. Okay, these are all the informal organization as established within the formal organization. So ಒಂದು ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ in the organization there may be the general manager and department manager, even though they are friends, but in the formal he is the boss and he is the worker. Under his general manager this person is working. So that is about the formal. But when it comes to the informal, andre they both are friends. So they are going to talk about not only to the organization. So organization ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, they are going to share their personal things. Okay, so they are going to communicate each other or personals ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ they are going to share each other. So that is we are going to call it as an informal organization or informal group that we are going to called. Okay, so in this group what they are going to, in this principle what they are going to insist means, here within every formal organization there is an existence of the informal group or the organization. As I said that in the organization we are not only see the formal organization but also we are going to see the informal organization also. We are going to see the informal organization, and as a manager he should not avoid or he should not ignore this informal organization. Okay, as a manager, so in this principle what it states means, as a manager he should identify those groups and use them for the communication information. Okay, so for the purpose of, as a manager he should identify these are all the informal groups in the organization. So organization alli yavella informal groups ideno as a manager identify ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. After identifying, as a manager he should make use of this group for what purpose? For the purpose of communicating the information. So information na communication purpose goskara as a manager he should make use of this informal organization. Okay, so there should be a free flow of information among the senior and the subordinates. See, in the formal organization, so in the informal organization here we are going to see the free flow of information now from the superior to the subordinates. Superior agli, subordinates agli, here we can see the free flow of information, because see here, so he belongs to the top level, he belongs to the middle level, even though he belongs to the different level, even though he is a supervisor and he is a subordinate. So there in the informal we are going to see the free flow of information, but in the formal we cannot see the free flow of information. So in formal alli ನಾವು free flow of information ನೋಡಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ, but informal alli we are going to see the free flow of information. And this, okay, so this is about the one of the principle of the directing, okay, for the purpose of, see in simple, for the purpose of growth of the organization. So organization growth ಬಗ್ಗೆ think ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ we cannot ignore this informal organization. ಈ informal organization ನ ignore ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. See this informal organization which is existed within the formal organization. So formal organization ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ informal organization ಕೂಡನು exist ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, say for example teachers and student, so teacher ಮತ್ತೆ student, okay, ಇದು ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು share your feelings with the teachers, no? So those sharing of information, it is an informal. So ಅದನ್ನ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, so as a manager, as I said that he should not ignore this also, and also as a manager he should identify these groups and make use of these groups for what purpose? For the purpose of communicating the information, because here we are going to see the free flow of information. So that purpose, as a manager he should make sure, or he should make use of this informal organization for what purpose? For the purpose of communication. Okay, for the purpose of sharing the information he should make use of this informal organization. So this is also one of the principle which is used in the directing, okay, directing process. Okay, and the next one principles of directing, it is about the leadership. See, leadership, it is also one of the principle used in the directing. Okay, so this is also one of the principle used in the directing. So in this principle, what they are going to say that while directing the subordinate, the manager should possess the good leadership qualities. So it can be influence the subordinates positively. Okay, see, as a manager he should possess, or he should have the good leadership qualities. So manager ಗೆ ಏನು ಇರಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಗುಡ್ leadership qualities ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇರಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So through this also the subordinate will going to influence. Okay, so ಇದರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? subordinate ಕೂಡನು influence ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. The positively they are going to influence by seeing the leadership quality of the supervisor. So in simple agi ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದರೆ, so manager should possess, manager ಗೆ ಏನು ಇರಬೇಕು? leadership quality. He should possess the good leadership quality to influence the subordinates and make them work to their wish. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರ ವರ್ಕ್ನ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸಿಂದ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ಗೆ, ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ದೆಮ್. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಂದರೆ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರೋ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾರೆ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸಬಾರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ಸು ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಇವ್ರ ಥರನೇ ಆಗಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದು ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಸಮ್ ಅದರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಥರ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ಗೆ ಗುಡ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸೊ ಇದರಿಂದನೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾರೆ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸಬಾರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ಸು ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಫ್ ದ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ so it will very easy for the manager to get the work according to him. So ನಾವು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋ ಥರ ಕೆಲಸ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಂದರೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನು ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್. So in this principle what they are going to insist means, so in this principle as a manager he should possess the good leadership quality. Okay, he should have the good leadership quality for what purpose? For the purpose of influencing the subordinates. Okay, if through this also the subordinate get influenced. Okay, so this is about the leadership. Okay, this is about the another principle of the management. Okay, sorry, not management, another principle of the directing. Okay, and the last principle of the directing is about the flow through. Okay, so flow through, it is also one of the principles in the directing. So in this principle what they say means merely giving of an order it is not sufficient. See, as a manager is going to give the orders to the subordinates, that is not enough. By giving the instruction or the order it is not sufficient, it is not enough. The work of the manager it is not get done by giving the instruction or by giving the orders, but as a manager should follow it up. Okay, so as a manager ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಸೊ ನಾನು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ದ ವರ್ಕರ್ ಆರ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸು ಆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನಿಗೆ ತಕ್ಕಂಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ. ಇಫ್ and according to the direction or the instruction the work has implemented or not. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರನೇ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಅಥವಾ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೇನೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ, ದಟ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಫಾಲೋ ಅಪ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಫ್ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎನಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಸೊ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ, okay, as a manager he should find out those problems, he should encounter those are all the problems. And also if there is any requirement of modification, so modification requirement ittu andre as a manager he should modify in the direction. So directionally he should bring the modification. Okay, so in simple, as a manager by giving the instructions, so instructions ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ, orders ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ, it is my work is done. No, that should not happen. As a manager he should follow up the things. Okay, so according to the instruction the work is implemented or not, that should be seen by the manager. Okay, ನಾನು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ ಥರ ನನ್ನ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ವರ್ಕು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆನೋ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎನಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆರ್ ಎನ್ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಫ್ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎನಿ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಮಾಡಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್, ಸೊ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ if we wish, okay, if there is any requirement in the modification in the directing process means he can do. Okay, So this is about the follow through. Okay, follow through andre so order athwa directions kodade ella adra prakara follow kudanu ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So this is all about the principles of the directing. ಇದೆಲ್ಲದು ಜನರಲ್ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಾನೂ ಕರಿಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ process ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ these are all the some of the rules, because directing process it is and challenging task for the manager. ಯಾಕಿದು ಚಾಲೆಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಟಾಸ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? Because it involves the many complexities. It involves the many complexities. Those complexities like, so as you know that the manager should handle with the people who are from the different background. Okay, so who are all different background, they are having the different expectation towards the organization, right? In this scenario, for doing the directing process, it will become very difficult and it is as a challenging task for the manager. Okay, so in order to helps to the manager to do the directing process, here is some of the principles or the rules for the manager to do the directing process. So by make use of these principles, it will become very easy for the manager to do the directing process. Okay, so this is all about the today's class, that is about the principles of directing. Okay, so this is all about the today's class. Okay, the further concept we will going to discuss in the next class, and thank you.